What if the boundary between the physical and the spiritual was never meant to exist? What if hidden within the very architecture of our bodies, there lies a secret bridge connecting the visible world of matter to the invisible realms of spirit and consciousness? Have you ever paused to wonder whether this duality is simply an illusion, and that at our core we were always meant to exist in both planes simultaneously? At the heart of this mystery lies a tiny, enigmatic gland nestled deep within the brain, the pineal gland. Though small and often overlooked by modern science, this humble structure has fascinated mystics, philosophers, and spiritual seekers for centuries. Many believe it to be the seat of the soul, a phrase immortalized by the 17th century philosopher René Descartes, who speculated that this was the very point where the mind and body converge. The pineal gland is not just a biological organ, it is a portal, a conduit, through which the spiritual dimension can influence our physical reality. It stands as compelling evidence that the line between body and spirit is far more porous than we think. Though it exists in the tangible realm, it is deeply tied to functions we often associate with higher states of consciousness, most notably clairvoyance, the inner vision that allows us to perceive truths beyond the ordinary senses. This is why the pineal gland is often referred to as the third eye, not metaphorically but quite literally. This eye does not see the physical world, but rather the subtle energies, patterns, and truths that lie beneath the surface of reality. When this gland is awakened, so too is our dormant spiritual sight. We begin to see life not just as a series of events and objects, but as an interconnected dance of energies, intentions, and vibrations. In this exploration, we will journey into the profound significance of this sacred gateway. We'll uncover how to awaken and harness the power of clairvoyance, not as some esoteric talent reserved for mystics, but as a natural human ability that anyone can cultivate. We'll delve into the deeper roles of the third eye chakra, its relationship to the pineal gland, and how these inner systems form a sacred architecture that links us to dimensions beyond the veil of the material world. In a time where external noise drowns out inner wisdom, reconnecting with the pineal gland may be the most important awakening of all. It is more than just an organ, it is a forgotten compass, pointing us back to the essence of who we truly are, beings of both light and form, navigating both worlds, meant to live with our feet on the ground and our spirits attuned to the heavens. We are able to access and develop clairvoyance through the use of these keys, which are an essential instrument for gaining an awareness of oneself and for spiritual development. Not only does clairvoyance broaden our perception, but it also assists us in bringing ourselves into alignment with the core of our being, a tangible and approachable experience. Clairvoyance is not merely a metaphysical concept or a supernatural ability. Rather, it is something that can be experienced by anybody. With the help of this potent instrument, we are able to negotiate the complexity of the modern world with a greater degree of wisdom, compassion, and comprehension in order to attain a life that is richer, more balanced, and more connected, which is something that is becoming increasingly rare and required in today's world. Let us learn how to use this powerful instrument. There is a pineal gland that can be found at the point where two different worlds meet. In terms of its physical location, it is situated between the two hemispheres of the brain, which are each accountable for a distinct set of skills and abilities. On the other hand, the right hemisphere of the brain is in charge of intuition and creativity, while the left hemisphere is responsible for logical and rational thinking. Not only does it bring the two hemispheres of the brain into harmony, but it also has a more profound significance. The pineal gland, which has traditionally been thought of as a photoreceptor that is crucial for regulating our sleep, is frequently talked about as a place of convergence between the physical and the spiritual elements. The world that we can see and touch is referred to as the physical world, whereas the spiritual world may be thought of as the world of the invisible. It is believed that the pineal gland acts as a communication link between these two realms, enabling humans to gain access to a more profound aspect of reality. René Descartes, a well-known philosopher who lived in the 17th century, referred to it as the seat of the soul. This term echoes the concept that it may be a kind of mystical bridge that connects our physical experiences with higher spiritual levels. Imagine for a moment that you have a button in your body that, when pressed, enables you to communicate with a transcendental world that has been concealed from you up until this point. An example of the pineal gland is this button. When it is stimulated or triggered in some way, it has the potential to open the doors to experiences of expanded consciousness, which in turn provide us with the ability to access a more profound and intuitive understanding of the universe. It is possible for us to start perceiving the subtle energies that are all around us, and there is also the possibility of gaining access to insights and intuitions that were previously out of our reach. Clarity of perception is the term that we use to describe this perception. Clairvoyance, which is frequently misinterpreted as the capacity to foretell the future, is in reality an awakening of spiritual vision and intuition that is available to all individuals. The concept of cinematic premonition is not involved in this type of clear vision. Rather, it refers to an increased awareness to the realities that are both physically and spiritually all around us. Through the activation of the pineal gland, we are able to begin to perceive the subtle energies that are all around us. This allows us to acquire a more profound comprehension of the interconnections that exist in life, as well as the patterns that are not visible to the traditional eyes. The ability to sense beyond what can be touched or seen paves the way for a more comprehensive comprehension of both ourselves and the world that surrounds us. It is not a gift that is only given to a select few, those who have been selected, but rather an innate ability that may be nurtured and improved upon. Everything is interconnected when it comes to the spiritual level. All living things are interconnected and a part of a larger whole. Through clairvoyance, we are able to recognize this relationship. When we are in touch with our clairvoyance, we are able to feel a stronger connection with the world that surrounds us. It is possible for us to sense the presence of the divine in all that is happening. There is also the possibility that we will have insights and intuitions that will assist us in making better decisions and living a life that is more meaningful and rewarding. The question is, how exactly do we get into this world? What are the steps to become clairvoyant? One can get clairvoyance, which is a capability that is accessible to everyone. This is a skill that may be cultivated and improved via the use of techniques such as meditation, mindfulness, and several other forms of spiritual self-exploration. The first step toward developing our practice is to have an understanding of the function of the third eye in all of this. An energy point that can be found on the forehead between the eyebrows is referred to as the third eye, which is also referred to as the Ajna chakra. Intuition, wisdom, and the ability to see the spiritual world are all related with it. In the human body, this chakra is regarded to be the hub of intuition and transcendental perception. It is intimately connected to the pineal gland. When the ajna is in a state of equilibrium and activity, it functions as a metaphysical window that enables us to transcend the boundaries of physical reality and has the ability to open our eyes to more subtle parts of the cosmos. The pineal gland, which serves as the physical manifestation of the third eye, is an essential component in the process of awakening. The pineal gland can be stimulated through activities such as meditation, yoga, and focusing attention on this chakra. This can result in an expansion of our awareness and a strengthening of our connection with the spiritual realm. The development of clairvoyance through the third eye is not something that can be accomplished through a single night. Patience, effort, and practice are all necessary components of this endeavor. In order to completely realize the intrinsic talent for clairvoyance that is within each of us, it is necessary to take baby steps as well, such as learning how to relax the mind and become more aware of the present moment. Meditation that is centered on the third eye chakra is one of the most effective practices. Sitting in a calm setting, closing one's eyes and focusing one's attention on the point between the eyebrows and the location of the ajna are the steps involved in this technique. Consider the presence of a brilliant light or an aperture in the eye in this area. Through the use of this exercise, the pineal gland is stimulated and the link with the third eye is significantly strengthened. Balasana, also known as child's pose, and Shashankasana, also known as crescent moon pose, are two of the yoga poses that are believed to increase the amount of blood that flows to the region of the pineal gland. The regular practice of yoga helps to bring the chakras into harmony and strengthens the link between the mind and the body. In addition to promoting mental clarity and balancing the brain hemispheres, breathing techniques like Nadi Shodhana, which involves inhaling through the nostrils in a reversed pattern, can also assist to activate the third eye. Relaxing the mind and getting the body ready for more profound spiritual experiences can be accomplished by concentrating on breathing, Diet is another factor that has a significant influence. It is advantageous to consume foods that are high in antioxidants, such as dark fruits, green, leafy vegetables, chocolate, and foods that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Decalcifying and activating the pineal gland can be accomplished with the help of dietary supplements, such as spirulina, chlorella, and iodine. It is possible for the pineal gland to be stimulated by exposure to direct sunshine, particularly in the early morning hours or close to sunset. It is advantageous to expose the pineal gland to the sun for a few minutes each day, not just for the pineal gland, but also for overall health reasons. And finally, though, by no means least, let us turn to the quiet power of mindfulness and focused attention, the sacred tools that calm the storm within and open a doorway to deeper spiritual truths. In the frantic pace of our modern world, where distraction reigns and the noise of daily life drowns out our inner voice, the need to awaken our clairvoyance, the art of deep intuitive vision has never been more urgent. We are living in an age of hyper-connection, yet more disconnected than ever from our true essence. Bombarded by endless information and external demands, we are rarely encouraged to pause, breathe, and tune in to the subtle guidance that flows from within. Clairvoyance is not some mysterious gift bestowed upon a select few. It is a birthright. It is the soul's natural ability to perceive beyond the veil of appearances, to feel the hidden tides of emotion, energy, and truth that pulse beneath the surface of all things. When cultivated through mindfulness, meditation, and inner stillness, clairvoyance becomes a beacon that guides us through the chaos with clarity, grace, and purpose. This heightened perception doesn't just offer mystical insight, it has tangible transformative power in everyday life. Imagine being able to sense the true intentions behind someone's words, to detect the unseen ripple of emotion in a room, to hear the subtle whisper of your soul, nudging you toward choices aligned with your deepest truth. Clairvoyance grants us access to this level of awareness. It fine-tunes our internal compass and strengthens the bridge between intuition and action. As we sharpen this inner sense, we begin to live with more authenticity. We make decisions that resonate with our values rather than societal expectations. We develop the courage to say yes when our heart speaks, and the wisdom to say no when something no longer serves us. This in its essence is freedom. Tuning into your clairvoyance is an act of radical self-love and empowerment. It is a declaration that your inner world matters, that your feelings, your instincts, your quiet knowing deserve to be heard and trusted. In doing so, we reclaim our power from a society that too often prioritizes intellect over intuition, analysis over awareness, and logic over lived truth. In a world that rewards speed, clairvoyance asks us to slow down. In a culture obsessed with facts, it invites us to feel. And in a time where we're constantly seeking answers from the outside, it reminds us that the most profound insights often rise from the silence within. So if you felt drawn to this message, if something in your spirit is whispering that there's more to life than meets the eye, then you're already on the path. Keep walking, keep listening, keep trusting that your inner vision is valid, valuable, and vital. If this message resonated with you, leave a comment and share your reflections. We'd love to hear how you experience your own intuition and inner wisdom. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell icon so that you never miss another journey into the deeper realms of consciousness and self-discovery.